Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome. You are tuned in to the hottest vlog on planet Earth. No, I'm playing. It's Big Mike's vlog. I'm your humble host, Big Mike, coming to you from my humble home. Welcome. I hope everyone's doing great on Sunday. It's a great day. I am happy as a clam today. Excited. Um, if you don't know, the Toronto Raptors are going to the NBA Finals. And to commemorate that, I think I should play some special music to commemorate that. So give me a second here. Okay, that's enough. All right, so so I get to gloat today because my team won. I am over the moon excited. So as you can tell, this vlog will basically be about the Raptors going to the NBA Finals and my take about the team, this year's team, and hopefully down the road what's going to happen with the team down the road. So first things first, I want to congratulate. I'm happy for the city. The city deserves it. We as Torontonians deserve this. We're a hard-working city. We grind. We've been through a lot of shit, and the fact that now in terms of, especially in terms of sports, but in other things as well, but definitely when it comes to sports, we've been kind of a snake-bitten city when it comes to sports. The Leafs have struggled, the Jays have struggled, the Raptors have kind of floundered in the playoffs. So the fact that now we as a city get to celebrate that we're going to the NBA Finals and we're 4 wins away from winning an actual championship, that we have not won a championship in this city since 1993 when I was 9 years old. God damn, I'm old. That's to show you why the city is just buzzing and why I'm so excited as a Raptors fan. Okay? So, like I said, I'll just give you some snippets of the game. So the game was intense. I didn't watch game 5, actually. I was kind of superstitious. I didn't want to bring any bad luck. So I was like, I'm not going to watch this game. So, because I watched game 1 and they were winning, and I'm thinking, oh, Raptors got this. And then I changed the channel, and then all of a sudden Milwaukee won, and I was like, what the hell happened? So I was kind of being superstitious. Didn't watch game 2 when they lost game 2. So, I figured my thing was this, and I told my boss this. Obviously they have to win a game in Milwaukee to win the series because there's 4 games in Milwaukee, 3 games in Toronto. It's a best of 7 series, so they have to win at least 4. So my hope was that the Raptors were going to be able to pull out a win. They pulled it out in game 5. So game 6 was kind of nerve-wracking. I didn't know how the Raptors are going to be, if they were going to play like, yo, we need to end this series now, or they were like, you know what, we'll just, we still got game 7. But they came, and they struggled. The first quarter was rough. That was a hard quarter to watch. They climbed back, but then Milwaukee kind of kept, Milwaukee kind of kept them at bay. They didn't completely take the Raptors out of the game completely, but they kept the Raptors at bay for the most part. And the fact that, but then they came back finally in the fourth quarter, and I was just like, I was so happy, and even when it was like 7 seconds and that was like, all the fouling and all that stuff, I was still in like shock that I'm like, if we make 2 free throws, we're literally going to the NBA Finals. And it didn't even hit me. It still hasn't hit me, to be honest with you. I'm still kind of in shock that we're actually going to the finals, that this is an actual thing. Considering how last year ended, and then we trade for Kawhi, and half the fan base was split. Half the fan base was like, fuck Kawhi. And listen, I'm not just saying this for conjecture. I'm saying this because when I saw the trade go down and I saw everyone commenting on Facebook and Instagram about the trade, everyone was like, yo, why are we getting Kawhi? Kawhi only played 9 games. He's injury prone. Why are you trading DeRozan? DeRozan wanted to be here. Blah, 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 blah. Everything. You fired Dwayne Casey. Why you fired Dwayne Casey? I was probably one of the few people who was like, you know what? I love Dwayne Casey. And shout out to Dwayne Casey because he was able to build the team up slowly. But I felt like the team had plateaued with him and DeRozan. The team was only their ceiling was basically the second round, maybe the Eastern Conference Finals. The way the team was set up before Kawhi got there. That's reality. Period. They were not getting to the finals with DeRozan. I don't care what anyone says. They were not. Kawhi, arguably, And if not, and if he hasn't showed you in these playoffs, I don't know what to tell you. He's arguably showed you he's a top 5 or if not top 10 player in the NBA. And only hating ass dudes will say that Kawhi isn't because you don't like Kawhi, like Skip Bayless or San Antonio Spurs fans. But I don't care about neither one of them. It's Toronto's days. That's why I'm saying that. So we had a chance to get him. Masai made the trade. And again, there's no guarantee even after these finals Kawhi is going to stay, because I saw George Sedano on ESPN just say last week that even if the Toronto Raptors win the finals, Kawhi is leaving. So the American media basically is pissed right now. They're all in a tizzy because they all picked Milwaukee. Most of them picked Philly. And most people would have been like, oh, if they lose to Orlando, we wouldn't be surprised. So no one gave us a shot any damn way. So like Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp, Skip Bayless, the Tooth Fairy, any sports analyst on ESPN or Fox News, Fox Sports or whatever, they're all losing their shit this morning because they don't know what the fuck happened. Because their predictions went to shit. Meanwhile, us in Toronto, we're celebrating and we get to gloat. You know, everyone's all mad at Drake, and I'm not the hugest Drake fan. But if you guys are sitting there worrying about what Drake's doing instead of y'all playing the game, no. And my thing is this: simple. If y'all don't like Drake, the simple solution is beat him. If you want to shut Drake the fuck up, beat the Raptors. Drake ain't gonna say nothing if y'all beat him, but y'all didn't. So we get to gloat now. But anyway, I digress. So the game, like I said, back to the game. The game was awesome. I'm looking forward to the finals. Obviously, no one's picking us to beat Golden State. Golden State's a great team. I love Golden State. I do like Golden State. They're actually one of my favorite teams too. So I'm not really split. I mean, I'm obviously rooting for the Raptors because I'll always root for the Raptors. But I respect Golden State. You know, Steph Curry, and they're playing out of their mind right now. You know, and what scares me about Golden State more than anything is the fact that they came back in 3 of the 4 games by 18 points or more, and they won all 3 of those games. But what gives me hope is that the Raptors were down by 10 plus in both the games against Milwaukee, and they came back. So, you know, my thing is this. I mean, listen, the Raptors are playing with house money. There's no pressure on the Raptors, really. There's no pressure because no one is everyone, I guarantee you now, is picking Golden State in either a sweep or they'll say the Raptors might get a game. Most of the losers trolling on Instagram and Facebook are picking Golden State in 4 or 5. So the Raptors have nothing to lose. They can just play. The pressure's all on Golden State. They're trying to 4-peat. They're trying to 3-peat, sorry. They're trying to do all this other shit. So the pressure's all on Golden State. You know, but I will say this. I think these finals will be better than last year's finals. Because last year's finals was terrible. Like, it was just boring. You know, so and again, like we were like, and again, like for me as a fan, like again, I'm still trying to just wrap my mind around this. So this is like raw. Like normally my vlogs are very organized. This is just straight up me just being a fanboy right now and just speaking as a fan. You know, I remember those years like when the Raptors sucked. You know, like in 2011, and this is again what you have to understand. Like we were rated as the worst in 2011. Toronto was rated as the worst sports town between the 4 major sports, between basketball, baseball, football, hockey. We were the worst out of all the teams. We were the worst in North America. To have that distinction was demoralizing. And over the past 4 years, we've had playoff runs. TFC, the soccer team, won the MLS Cup in 2017. The Jays have been to the playoffs. The Leafs have been making the playoffs. They've been getting beaten in the first round. They got to beat Boston, but they've been getting to the playoffs on a consistent basis. The Raptors have been getting to the playoffs since 2013. So, and again, like I'm a fan. I love this city. You know, I've lived here most of my life. So to see the city buzzing now for the team, and now we're in the finals, which is still, like I said, saying it is still crazy to me. You know, because I don't even know if I ever thought in my lifetime that I would see a team go to the finals in, like, whether it be the Leafs or the Raptors. I just didn't know if that would ever happen. As good as of a team as we were, as a fan, I'm going to root for them. I'm always going to say they're going to get there, but to actually be there is shocking. But saying all that, I still want to win. I'm not just satisfied with us getting there, because again, it's not a consolation prize. We want to win the finals. Now, some of the fan base is probably just content with us being at the finals, and that's good enough. And guess what I'll tell you about those fans? those are the same fans who are probably bitching and moaning about DeRozan getting traded because they're just satisfied with mediocrity, or they're satisfied with just getting there. I'm like, no. Why not? If we're there, why not win it? You know what I'm saying? Like J Rock said, win, 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 win. Fuck everything else. If that's not what we're doing, then what are we there for? Just to get our ass kicked? Nah, that's not how this city's built. And I don't think that's how the Raptors are built. So I'm just very happy. In relation to how the team is going to be going forward, I don't know. I mean, basically, most of the sports media in America basically said Kawhi is leaving. Like, it's just basically, I've seen comments on Instagram basically saying Toronto fans enjoy Kawhi now because he's going to be a Clipper or he's going to be a Laker. So, I mean, you know, no one's giving us any respect anyway. I mean, George Sedano went as far on ESPN, went as far as to say is even if the Raptors win the NBA Finals, Kawhi is leaving because he bought a house in San Diego. And you can go on YouTube if I'm wrong. If I'm lying, I'm dying. If I'm lying, may God strike me right now because it's Sunday. I have no reason to lie. He said this on TV. So, but me personally, like what I will say about this, I mean, no one knows what Kawhi is going to do. So I'm not trying to sit here and say he's definitely going to stay or he's definitely going to leave. But I will say this. And I said this a few weeks ago like when I was out waiting for shoes. And I'll show you my shoe collection another time. But this is Raptors time right now. So I said, the longer the Raptors playoff run, the more likely Kawhi will stay. Because you'll see the potential of the team. He can go to the Clippers. And it's basically the same team. But the only difference is he's going to have that juggernaut Golden State in his way. And I don't know even if you go with the Clippers, even if you bring like Jimmy Butler there with Kawhi, that won't work. I don't think those two players play off each other well. So there's that. And also, too, the reason why I would say Kawhi would want to stay is because ultimately we can offer him the most money. We can offer him over $200 million. And to Chris Broussard's point, and I mean, Skip Bayless goes on his show and basically shits on Kawhi Leonard. But I mean, Skip doesn't like Kawhi Leonard. So that's why I take what his criticisms with Kawhi with a grain of salt, because he's not being really objective as he thinks he is, because he doesn't like Kawhi, because he feels like Kawhi quit on the Spurs. Which, if you feel that he did or didn't, is irrelevant to me. I don't care. But I mean, with Chris Broussard and with Skip saying, oh, Kawhi doesn't like the clutch, he doesn't want to be in the spotlight, he ran from the Spurs spotlight, and with Chris Broussard saying that Toronto's a hockey town, why wouldn't Kawhi stay here? Because Kawhi could just be here and play basketball. Right? I mean, we're a hockey town, right? So, and if he doesn't like the spotlight, what better place to play than Toronto? Because, I mean, to put in perspective, like, Undisputed wasn't even really talking about the Raptors playoff run until Philly. Until, like, really the third game in Philly. They didn't even talk. They were talking about LeBron James and the Lakers and shit for, like, 3 weeks. And they're not even in the damn playoffs. They weren't even talking about the Raptors. The Raptors were like a small blip. That was like in the last 5 minutes of the show they would talk about the Raptors. Now they're pissed because they have to talk about the Raptors now. They have no choice. Because we're in the finals now. And we're not going nowhere. And again, I'm not a huge Drake. I'm not like a diehard Drake fan. But I understood when he was talking about us going to the finals and the way he was speaking, I understood what he meant as someone who lives in this city. And if you like Drake, don't like Drake is irrelevant to me again. But what he was saying was true. In the sense of, listen, we're a snake-bitten city. You know what I'm saying? And again, for me, I say this with passion. Like, we were a snake-bitten city. We were like I said, we were rated the worst sports town, 8 years ago. And now we're going to the finals. You know what I'm saying? And if you're a Toronto Raptors fan, if you're from Toronto, if that doesn't give you any sort of pride or nothing, I don't know what to tell you, man. But all I know is I'm happy. The Raptors in the finals. All y'all haters can do, you know, everyone who's hating and bitching and moaning and all this other shit, saying that like Milwaukee got screwed and all this crazy stuff, whatever. But anyway, I'm done. You know, I don't want to talk y'all ear off. I'm happy. But before I go, though, to all the haters out there who are hating on the Raptors, hating on Kawhi, think that we're going to get swept and all this other shit, that's fine. We'll see Golden State on Thursday. Golden State's got to come here. But all the haters, I'm going to leave y'all with this parting shot, then I'm out. Just give me a sec. Way to load.